Racism is the most powerful system on the planet, yet it is often perceived as the most taboo subject to discuss. World-renowned activist and best-selling author Tariq Nasheed takes on this challenge head-on in his new book, Foundational Black American Race Baiter. This is the most important book you will need in order to understand the mechanisms of systemic racism and how to counter this system. Get Foundational Black American Race Baiter now at Amazon and BarnesandNoble.com. Also get limited autographed collector's editions of the book at officialfba.com.
All right. Letting everybody come on in the room. We're here. How y'all doing, family? We are here, ladies and gentlemen. We are here on this lovely, lovely weekend evening. Glad to have all of you tuning in, ladies and gentlemen. We're in here, and we're going to chop it up like we always do. Got on my maroon shirt. Got on my Foundational Black American maroon shirt. I know you got yours with the Foundational Black American maroon flag. I know you got yours, ladies and gentlemen. Shout out, raise your hand if you have on your Foundational Black American maroon shirt, ladies and gentlemen, that you can get at officialfba.com. You can get the maroon flag t-shirt at officialfba.com, ladies and gentlemen. Boom, there it is. Boom, there it is. Oh, man, so much we got to get into. We're going to talk about the voting game. Again, I have to thank everybody for getting stuff from the baby registry. I think we got pretty much everything off the registry, so I thank everybody. If we don't vote, we can get charged. Oh yeah, this is what we're going to talk about today. Somebody, you're jumping ahead of the topic. But I just wanted to thank the family for getting stuff from the baby registry. We had a photo session today, paternity photo with the family. Very beautiful, cute pictures. We're going to show you guys in a couple of weeks. We only have a few weeks until our new bundle of joy will be here, so we're very excited about that, ladies and gentlemen. And I really thank people for sending the gifts. The gifts that everybody sent, it really creates a certain energy in the home. You know, the other children like the gifts. When you give gifts and there's thought, because that's what really matters. It's really the thought that counts. That brings a great energy in the household. So much respect. Shout out to the UK. Much respect. Somebody asked about the museum. Very good question. There, you know, as you know, we're still trying to find a location out here. There was a brother who's a real estate agent out here. Where are my LA people? Let me ask my LA people, would this be a good idea? There's a brother, he's a real estate agent out here. There's a property that's not listed on a lot of the commercial sites, but he's working with this one brother who's trying to sell his building. There's a property on Slauson, like a couple of blocks from the Marathon store. It's an old property. The price is cool, but it would have to be a tear down. They want $1.5 million for it, but they're the pros and cons. The pros is $1.5 million, that's good. For land in LA, that's pretty damn good. The location is a pro, that's good. It's right in South Central LA, again, a few blocks down from the Marathon store right on Slauson. The con is that we would have to tear it down. The building is kind of old, so it would be a tear down. So we'd have to tear it down and build it right back up. So my LA people, yeah, somebody said LA is overrun with crime. Yeah, there's a major crime wave out here right now. That's another thing. What's the cross street? It's going towards, Crenshaw and Slauson is going towards like La Brea. That is going towards that area, but not that far. Again, it's about a block away from Grill Fresh. You know what Grill Fresh is on Slauson and West? It's kind of by there, okay? Over there by the barbecue joint. So that area, family, is that a cool area to put a museum as far as the traffic, foot traffic? I think I can negotiate a better price. Yeah, we could get a better price, but I'm just saying to my LA people, it's before Simply Wholesome. It's before Simply Wholesome. It's way before Simply Wholesome. Again, like I said, it's like if you're on West and Slauson, you can walk to the spot. If you're on West and Slauson, you can walk right to it. And it's like 9,000 square feet. So it's a nice size. The size is good. Some people saying, hell no. Yeah, right. I don't want to just get anything. That's why I just want to chop it up, It's kind of doable, but, I just want to talk to the family and see, is that some... And again, I'm still working out the Atlanta option, too. You say, it's hella active over there. So you say, that's not the spot, Khalil? Okay. Yeah, I really wanted on Crenshaw, man. I really, really wanted it on Crenshaw. Yeah, real estate is about location. Parking is like, Say a little too gang affiliated. Yeah, this is what I'm talking to them LA folks. A lot of folks from out of town, they don't, it's a pretty active area. I'll say that. I don't know. I'm just trying to weigh the pros and cons. I'm trying to weigh the size is good. And again, tear it down. We can build a brand new spot for a decent rate, but just the location. But again, too many active sets. Trains I'll kick some more ideas around. But again, we're looking at Atlanta too. We're looking at Atlanta as a possibility. But yeah, we're still waiting on some properties to kind of open up again in Leimert Park. I really wanted in Leimert Park. I wanted it right on that stretch. There was a spot we were about to get, but they flaked out and they just took the listing down for whatever reason. They were trying to dump it off on us fast. There was a building right by the McDonald's, right in Leimert Park, like right next door to it. And we did a walkthrough. I'm like, cool. The building is nice and sturdy. The price was great. All we have to do is gut it and we're good to go. And they were trying to close real fast. They were like, yeah, we can close it in 7 days. No, we can't close in 7 days. We got to do an inspection and all this stuff. And then we found out that they had liens on the property. And I think it was some of them Russian cats trying to dump that before they got sanctioned or whatever. Because, a lot of Russian cats own a lot of property over there. So, again, it's a lot of political stuff that we're dealing with out here. But we're going to get the museum. We just got to get it in a cool spot. And again, Atlanta's an option. Atlanta is definitely an option. But hey, we'll get on that later. But again, we're still working on the museum thing. We just got to get the right location. We got to get the right location, especially out here in LA. We got to get the right location out here in LA. Oh, man. So look, everybody hit the like button. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Wouldn't do Houston. I don't really have too many connections in Houston. Atlanta, I got all types of connections down there. I got my brother Brad. They do real estate renovation. I got a whole team of folks down there. If we did it in Atlanta, I already got a team of folks that would help run it, make sure it's cool. I got my family, got my cousin over there a few hours away in Alabama, so I can have him go over there. So I got family down there. I got homies. I got a lot of folks down in Atlanta that would make it do what it do. Yeah, man, out here, certain areas, like I said, man, LA is real funny right now, man. We got a lot of stuff we're dealing with, man. We got to deal with, the white supremacists who own the land, who don't want to sell it, and then there's an insane crime wave out here now. LA is real funny right now. It's a lot of funny style stuff going on out here in the streets of LA, man, unfortunately. Like last weekend, it was like 34 people shot out here last weekend, right? Was it last weekend? Out here in LA, it was like 34 people shot in the weekend out here in LA. So it's like, I got friends down there, but I'm just talking about people that I've done business with before. Atlanta, I got a lot of people that I've done business with before. Some people that I really, really done some good business with out there. Again, my Atlanta people, let me know what areas are good out there in Atlanta. We've been looking. There was one spot, a big building. It was an old building. We'd have to gut it, but I think it used to be a Masonic lodge out there, something like that. It was a pretty big building, and I think, it's on the listing sites, but they got it under contract, so I think somebody's already about to get it. There was a church out there that they wanted a little under $1 million in Atlanta, and I was out of the country, and I was trying to get that thing. I was going to get that. It was a big-ass church that would have been great out there in Atlanta, right off I-20, but by the time I got back in the country, somebody got it. Look in the Morris Brown campus, Morris Brown campus. Yeah, a lot of follow home crime. Yeah, Melrose is hot. Yeah, it's hot out here right now, man. It's very, very hot right now. But I digress. But again, like I said, we're still working on the museum. We're trying to make it do what it do. But there's a strong possibility that we would just have to put it in Atlanta. We'd have to put that thing in Atlanta. Keep it in LA. If it need to be closer, you take your time, you'll find it. Hey, man, that's what we're trying to do. And we're even looking at places in the valley. We're even looking in places in the valley. I really don't want to do downtown. I definitely don't want to do downtown. Yeah, real talk, DiCaprio, LAPD, they're letting a lot of crimes go on. That's the operative word. They're letting a bunch of crimes go on. That is absolutely true. They're allowing a bunch of crimes to go on. All right, but we're gonna get it, man. We're gonna get it. But again, Atlanta might be a possibility. The only thing is I would hate, flying back and forth on a regular basis, because we got the new baby and I don't like leaving my children like that. But hey, we'll make it do what it do. All right. Put it in Lancaster, Palmdale? No. Hell no. No. Absolutely not. No. We're not. No. Lancaster and Palmdale is not the business. All right. But listen. What we're going to talk about now, we're talking about the political game. Are they trying to force us to vote? As you know, foundational Black Americans, we are not allowing, for the most part, many of us, we're not allowing the Republicans or the Democrats to run game on us. We're not letting them run the con game on us. Well, you just vote and we'll do something for you later on down the line. We're not falling for that con game. We're letting them know in order for us to move, you're going to have to give us some tangibles up front. Y'all going to have to start breaking bread with them reparations tangibles. We're not playing games with you. Enough of us are on that wave right now. And the Democrats and the rest of the political structure, they understand what's going on. So they're getting a little desperate, ladies and gentlemen. I want y'all to understand. Us talking about reparations, we're putting the conversation in the forefront. Us talking about reparations, we're making waves with that. And they're forced to talk about it. And what they're doing now, a lot of people are having these fake reparations conversations, meaning they'll say something about reparations, they'll just mention it and they think that's good enough. That's not good enough. We're not playing the symbolic gesture game. Now out there in Arizona, they got a little fake reparations thing going on out there called the Reparations Pledge Pack. Let me give y'all some information on that. Hold on 1 second. Let me show y'all this reparations pledge pack nonsense that they got. They're being very vague, and we can already smell the bait and switch on it. All right? We can already smell the bait and switch on this thing. Hold on 1 second. Hold on, let me pull it up, ladies and gentlemen. Let me pull it up. All right. All right, now check this out. They've been promoting this stuff all on social media. Let me show y'all this. This is in Arizona. Because, see, we're forcing them to talk about reparations, so they'll talk about it by just saying the word. So you got a bunch of these politicians out there in Arizona. Richard Andrade, thank you, Representative Richard, for taking the reparations pledge. Okay, and look at what they're saying. Reparations for African Americans are past due, which I proudly took the reparations pact because it's time to right the wrongs for African Americans. Many have served our country and paid our dues, and we owe them because this is one of our many ways to honor them. Okay. All right, Richard, what the hell are you giving up? All right, here's another guy, Cesar Aguilar. I'm making the reparations pledge. Reparations should come in the form of wealth-building opportunities that address disparities in education, housing, and business ownership, okay? So they got this reparations pact, but, you know, they low-key, they're trying to define what reparations is. There's a whole bunch of them here. Hold on. Jesus Lugo has made the reparations pledge. Have y'all seen a common denominator here, ladies and gentlemen? Have y'all noticed a common denominator? Where are the black people here? All right, right here, this woman, Sarah Tyree, I think she's an African immigrant. All right. Murphy Bannerman, she doesn't look FBA. She's out there doing the reparations pledge. Y'all already know right here. Oyebola, Akani Oleboga, whatever his name is. So where are the FBAs, man? Ain't no FBAs out here at all. Melanie Hernandez, all of these people taking the reparations pledge. Okay. Okay, ain't no black people, ain't no foundational black Americans. Not one FBA. Okay? And they're talking very vaguely. They're talking real vague. Yeah, we support reparations. Oh yeah, reparations are past due. You see? They talk in these vague terms, and then you go to their website and they want you to donate to them. All right, then you click on the website. It's time to elect pro-reparations candidates. We support reparations on the local level, and this can happen if we increase turnout and flip the legislature in both chambers and elect a governor who will move the needle towards reparations for African Americans on the local level. So yeah, vote for us and then we'll talk about it. No. No, no, no. No, no, no. We're not going to vote for you and then you do it. No, no. Start cutting them checks. Start breaking bread. Now, they changed their website up. They got like a black person here with a twisty ponytail here as their logo. But they had some rainbow stuff up here the other day. Somebody must have called that out and they changed the website. But they had some rainbow stuff up there. But this is just to show you, we have people talking about reparations. We're forcing them to talk about. Yeah, this is a part of Act Blue. All right, hold on. Another thing, by the way. This is, hold on. Oh yeah, somebody pointed that out. Let's not miss that. Act Blue, these are the people who collect money for Black Lives Matter, by the way. All right? This is Act Blue. These are the people who collect money for Black Lives Matter. All right? Let's be clear. So y'all can already smell the finesse. Oh yeah, we support reparations. Give us some money. No, no, no. You give us some money. I don't want to hear all of that. We'll think about it and we'll vote. If you vote for us, we'll talk about it. In Arizona, family, I just left Arizona a few weeks ago, as you know. Arizona is throwing money to the Native Americans out there. They're not talking about anything. They're throwing money at them. Land, money, monthly checks, casinos, schools, housing, their own police force, their own hospitals, their own ambulances. These folks are giving them the red carpet treatment. They know how to break bread. You understand what I'm saying? So family, we got to be on top of this. Again, we're cultivating our own grassroots politicians. Shout out to our brother Marcel out there in South Carolina. We got to support that brother. Put money on his books. He's talking the reparations talk. Another sister out there in Atlanta, I'm going to start really getting with her and supporting her movement real heavy. She's talking reparations. I'm going to be working with my sister Teslin to strategize for some other people that we're grooming for the political arena to get out here to speak reparations. We're going to flood the zone with our own people who are going to talk reparations while they're running for office in certain positions out there. We're going to get something going on out there in Texas. We're going to push a reparations candidate real heavy. Again, like I said, we need some brothers and sisters who are somewhat politically savvy, somewhat savvy as far as public speaking, and get you groomed so we can get you out here to push the message. Yeah? Redeem Richard, create the crowdfunding. He would not respond. Okay. Yeah, Tamara Shealy out there in Atlanta. We got to holler at her. I'm going to chop it up with her and see what's going on with her so we can get it popping. We need to get the political ads out there popping so that we can get folks getting our agenda out there. So we need folks from all over the country to start stepping up so we can start getting you ready. Y'all need to let us know who's in your community that we can get down with. Y'all need to let us know. You need to start picking out people in your community. And then let us know who you think is thorough. Then we'll reach out to them and we get them ready. But like I said, family, we're talking about reparations. They're crunching the numbers. They see that Foundational Black Americans, we're dead serious because what we did something that was not expected. We focused on our culture. And I told people before, when you focus on your culture and you understand your culture, everything else is going to fall into place. When you focus on your culture, everything else is going to click, ladies and gentlemen. Everything else is going to get right here because you'll know who your group is and you will know what needs to be done to empower your group. Gary Chambers, no disrespect to him, he's too clicked in with the Democratic brass like that, and he pushes too much of the Democratic agenda for me. And out here smoking weed and all that, he ain't really pushing no reparations real hard like that. And we don't need anybody who could potentially be just flunkies for the Democrats. We're not. And no disrespect to Gary Chambers, but we need some people who's hardcore down with the grassroots for real, for real. We're doing money talk. We ain't out here trying to smoke weed in front of the cameras and all that. These are just little trick bags. That's like the new fish fry as far as I'm concerned. No disrespect to Gary Chambers. He might be a good dude, but nah, I think he's already been co-opted by the Democratic brass too much. You understand? No, we need folks out here stomping hard for using our talking points for what we need. We need people talking about reparations in cash payments. Let's say it with your chest. Reparations with cash payments going to foundational Black Americans. We don't need all of these vague terms, well, business opportunities and wealth building structure. No, we need cash payments. We need somebody to say it loud and proud. But because we're stomping hard with our reparations agenda, ladies and gentlemen, and they see that we're not trying to support any of these candidates, they know that they're in trouble. So what they're doing now, they're doing a few different strategies now in order to avoid giving us our tangibles. They are trying to create a new boogeyman. All right. One thing they're doing, they're trying to create a new boogeyman. And the boogeyman is now Ron DeSantis. They're making Ron DeSantis the new Trump. See, they'll talk about white supremacy. Notice the Democrats in the left wing of white supremacy, they'll only talk about racism if they can score some brownie points for throwing darts at the right wingers. They'll only talk about racism if they can throw darts at the Republicans. They can get political darts at each other. They can get political brownie points. That's the only time they'll talk about racism. So right now, you'll see a lot of articles with them talking about what Ron DeSantis is doing to black people. Democracy in Florida is not functioning. Governors' rigged maps rob black voters of power. So they got to make Ron DeSantis the new Trump. Oh, look at what Ron DeSantis and the Republicans are doing to black people. Y'all got to stop Ron DeSantis. So stopping Ron DeSantis is going to be, y'all got to stop Trump. This is the new, you got to stop Trump. It's going to be, we got to stop Ron DeSantis. Listen, we don't have any tangibles for you, but man, you got to stop Ron DeSantis. Look at what he's doing to black people. He's the real racist. Oh, you got to stop him. Ron DeSantis is so racist. Oh, he's more racist than Trump. Ooh, ooh. They're doing the boogeyman strategy. All right? They got to scare us into supporting the Democrats because of the racist right-wing propaganda. All right? I'm not going to let them just make the right-wingers the racists, because the left-wingers are just as racist. All right? We're not playing that game. Another thing they're doing, another tactic they're doing, the Democrats, they're trying to make all of these other issues black issues. Like this, for example. You'll hear a lot of this in the election season. It's not too late for Biden to become an anti-racist president. Come election time, if black people are still losing the student loan battle, candidates bearing empty promises shouldn't win either. Here they go. You're going to hear this student loan debt nonsense. Whenever you hear that, remember last week I was playing some clips of these fake Black Lives Matter activists running around here talking about some student loan debt. These are talking points from the top brass of the Democrats, all right? Student loan debt for black people, that's a talking point from the top brass. This is their form of reparations. This ain't it, all right? This is not it. Racism, here they go. They're going to try to define what racism is. Racism doesn't always show up with tiki torches and epithets. More often, it's often manifested as disregard. Black voters ostensibly matter during political campaigns, but once in office, more than not, politicos devalue black labor input and the demands that propel them to victory. The Democratic politicians in particular owe a political debt to black voters. Biden, the head of the party, can pay it by canceling student loans. Go to hell. And then they go into black people suffer because of student loan debt. No, 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 no. No, thank you. Andre Perry. There's somebody named Andre Perry wrote this. I don't know who he is. Who is Andre Perry? All right. He's at Brookings Institution, so he's at one of these think tanks. Andre Perry and Carl Romer. But who is Andre Perry? Let me look him up real quick. He's at one of them think tanks. Remember, these think tanks, all they do is sit up here and come up with ways to finesse us. They'll talk like they're sympathetic to what we're talking about. Notice how they use our talking points. We always talk about how the Democrats owe us. And notice how they threw that in. Notice how they threw that in. All right. Now, who is Andre Perry? This is the brother out there in D.C. from the Brookings Institute. All right. Don't know where this dude is from, but he's an educator out here. I'm looking him up right now. Where is he from? I'm trying to see where he's from. Okay. I can't see where he's from. Hold on. Let me show a picture of Andre Perry. All right, that's him, Andre M. Perry. His eyebrows look a little arched. I don't know. But yeah, that student loan debt, that ain't it. We don't give a damn about no student loan debt. That ain't no damn reparations. No damn student loan debt. No. They owe us more than some student loan debt. You didn't give the Ukrainians no student loan debt relief. You're giving all these other people money. Black family, we are not going to let these people come around us with all of these intangibles. That's an intangible. Canceling a debt, no, that's not good enough. We need reparations, cash payments for foundational Black Americans. You understand? We're not playing that game. So again, they're going to try to redefine what we need. They're going to get these people from these think tanks to redefine what we need, ladies and gentlemen. And we're not going to go for that propaganda. We're not playing that game. We're not playing that game at all, ladies and gentlemen. And I'm looking up more on this guy's Twitter feed while we're talking. Hold on one second. I'm looking up more stuff on this guy. Trying to see what's going on with him. Hold on. Okay. I'm looking up some stuff on him. Okay, wait a minute. This Andre Perry, I'm looking up. Here we go, hold on. Did you see this, Mr. David Johns, in this piece? 5 ways to create more inclusive spaces for the trans community. There you go. There you go. All right. Yeah, I knew them eyebrows looked a little different. Yeah. So y'all already see where that's going, ladies and gentlemen. Y'all already see where that's going. I smell something in the room. All right? And y'all smell it too. But listen, another strategy that they're doing, and this is their Hail Mary right now, family, because they know that we are not really supporting any of these politicians, family. They know we ain't really trying to get down. And the name of the game is to get us on the political treadmill without giving us something. That's why they got these think tanks, and they put billions of dollars into coming up with ways to get us to participate in the political process without giving us something. All right? Now that we're not really trying to vote, they're getting all outright threatening. Look at this right here. This is very interesting right here. Look at this. Hold on. A new bill is proposing that people pay a fine if they don't vote in the general election. The goal of the Civic Duty to Vote Act is to require each eligible citizen to appear to vote in each regularly scheduled general election. Wow. A new bill could require you to vote. Now that we're saying the hell with the vote, they're like, hey, we'll make you vote. Whoa. Oh, really? You gonna make me vote? No, the hell you ain't. Yeah, you gonna pay a fine if you don't vote? That's a Hail Mary pass right there, family. These people are coming up with Hail Mary passes. This is how important it is for them to get us to get on the political treadmill. They understand, family. If you don't co-sign the system that they have, you're going to come up with an alternative system. They look at that as dangerous. When you decide to say, hey, the hell with your system, that's a power move. You're not going to make me vote for a bunch of damn degenerates. Yeah, that's very unconstitutional. You're going to make us vote? Boy, they're getting desperate, family. This is desperation. See, with us, and this is because of us, let's be very clear. This is because of us, foundational Black Americans. We put our foot down and we said, hey, the hell with your system and your election if you are not breaking bread. You understand? We're not going to let them use scare tactics against us. Yeah, I think it's $25 or something. Yeah, I paid a little $25 or whatever. But yeah, they're going to try to tax us now if we don't vote. Because let me tell you something. This reparations thing, it's scaring them, which is good. And we have to stop waiting on approval from them. Because, see, this reparations thing, you know, this is going to bring justice. And also another thing, when the reparations come through, we're going to find out something very interesting. We're going to find out that there's more than 13 or 14% of Black people in America. Because now, people who are qualified to get reparations, they're going to start pulling up with their paperwork. You're going to see that there's about 20 million Black people, well, not 20 million, but at least probably 50 million Black people in America, 50 to probably 60 million. They say that there's around 40 million, but let me tell you something. A lot of Black people don't fill out the census form. Many Black people don't fill out the census form. Y'all know that. They know that. So our population numbers is basically a guesstimate to a certain degree. But if they start giving reparations, that's another thing that scares them too. You're going to see all of these people who are qualified for reparations pop out the woodworks, and then they're going to start filling out their paperwork. All of these people who don't fill out the census forms, they're going to start popping up and filling out those reparations forms, and you're going to see it's about 60 million Black people out here. Do you understand? I honestly think there's about 60 million Black people around here, dude. And you're going to find that out if we get the reparations package. They don't want that truth to come out. They don't mind us not signing the census form. They don't mind that. They know that many of us are like, hey, I ain't about to sign that. They know that. Most of us throw the census forms away. I believe there's 60 million of us deep out here. You understand? We just live underground to a certain degree. Many Black people just live under the radar. There's a lot of Black people who live under the radar. Y'all know a bunch of Black folks who really ain't got no paperwork on them. They don't be on social media. You know who they are, but they ain't on nobody's books. Come on, man. Y'all know a bunch of Black folks like that who ain't on nobody's books. You understand? They ain't paying no taxes. They ain't filling out no census form, but you know who they are. You understand? Cats are under the radar out here. But yeah, they're trying to get into these scare tactics, ladies and gentlemen. And they don't really want to show our real numbers out here. But I ain't got a problem with it, man. We got to stay the course. Do not be afraid. See, I've been listening to some of these Twitter spaces, and when we start talking about reparations, you get a lot of Black folks calling in. I've seen them call into other spaces on some, well, if we get reparations, well, what we gonna do with that fiat money? That fiat money ain't gonna be worth nothing real soon, so we shouldn't even be wanting their money. When y'all hear Negroes talk like that, these defeatist, scared Negroes, when y'all hear that, ladies and gentlemen, you know what that is. Usually these are older Negroes, or these are Negroes who just want a hug from white people, or Democratic shills. But you hear the conversations. They're scared of power. A lot of Black people are afraid of power. What we're doing, ladies and gentlemen, we're making power moves. We're making power moves right now. We've forced a conversation into the public lexicon against their will. We have defined our ethnic group on our own terms in large numbers. Enough of us have acknowledged our foundational Black American status and our lineage. That's a power move, to name yourself and acknowledge yourself, and you define who you are culturally. That's a power move, because that gets everybody on code. And then that excludes people who are not on code with us. That's why so many people have a problem with us designating ourselves as foundational Black Americans. Why you niggas hating? You niggas are hating me. You hate us. They equate us acknowledging our lineage as hating them. That's a gaslighting tactic because now everybody has to hold their own nuts. But listen, we cannot be afraid of power. I don't want to hear Negroes out here whining. Man, we don't need no money. Can't no amount of money cover what they did to me. And then they go into the truth and reconciliation and the whole poverty, abuse rundown. My peoples was lynched and hung and castrated and hung. All right, we get that. Look, let me tell you something. When it comes to us sitting to the table, when it comes to us sitting at the table talking about tangibles, Black people, don't sit your ass there going into the poverty scare tactics and the abuse rhetoric. We done that already. We're not doing truth and reconciliation. We're not going into the good trouble rhetoric. Family, it's money time. I don't want to sit with anybody in the dominant society and talk about how badly we were abused by the country. They know. All right, we done that. Because see, when y'all start doing that, that wastes time. All right? That's a time-wasting mechanism. I'm trying to get to the money. When it's time to sit down and talk about what should be given to Black people, let me tell y'all something. The minute y'all start seeing people talk about all the abuse, that's a time-wasting mechanism. They're there to waste time. No. I want to hear numbers. Okay, we're here for the reparations committee. We're going to talk about what's being allocated. Now, we have somebody from NCOBRA right here. They're going to speak first. Tell us, what do you think about reparations? Well, first of all, ain't no amount of money going to make up for what has been done to me and my peoples. The Jim Crow laws, 70% of Black people got 15% of the wealth allocated towards the plebiscite, rounded off to the nearest number times 10 to that of the dominant society. It becomes plebiscite babble. Man, we were abused. I have a picture of one of my enslaved ancestors with whelps on his back. I'm trying to hold back tears. My Uncle Saturn, look at his back. The whelps that they put on his back, they worked him from sun up to sundown. Can't no amount of money make this right. That's why I say we need a hug and we need repatriation back to the motherland. Dumbass talk. When they start doing that, these are operatives and shills. Look at my Uncle Saturn. Look at what they did to Uncle Saturn. He escaped slavery. What he did, he ran off the plantation and he ran 4 cliques to the north. And they caught my Uncle Saturn and they beat him and then they cut off his leg. And then he had to hop around for the rest of his life picking cotton and raising chickens with one leg. My Uncle Saturn, man, that is my ancestor. I don't want no dirty money. That's blood money. No. Get that coon nigga out the room. See, that's what they want. That's a trick bag. They start sliding all of them dramatic coons in the room. No coons in the room. Yeah, I'm not here to cry in front of white folks and do performative arts. No. Hi, Tariq, do you want to talk about how your ancestors were abused? No, you already know. Let's talk numbers. Let's start at 20 trillion. Let's allocate it. We can start off with 100,000 per family. We can make the checks out and we can get our own Freedmen's Bureau where we have our people checking everybody's paperwork so we don't get any $5 FBAs in here. So let's get the checks starting next month. Let's start in California since we've already had a reparations task force and we've already determined who's qualified for the reparations. Umbutu over there can't get it. So I don't know why he's here. So let's just get down to the nitty gritty. You understand? I'm just gonna get right to the point. I'm getting right to the damn point. Don't let them get in our conversations wasting time. That's another thing. They love to get around us wasting time and start talking about all of these outlier situations. When we have reparations conversations, you get somebody pop in. Now listen, now what if, now I understand with the reparations, what's going on is it's only going to be qualified for peoples who can trace their ancestry back to the 1900 census, right? So listen, what if there's a situation if you have a relative who was enslaved in the Dominican Republic in the 1700s, and then they were brought over here in the 1800s, and then they kind of went back and forth, and their name is on the census, but they really came from the Dominican Republic, and they're mixed with Taino Indian. And how do we pay them? How do we determine what payment they get? Okay, what we do, we sit them in the goofy corner. All right, we're gonna sit you in the corner, and we'll bring your order out to you when we figure everything else out. What that means, you go to the back of the line, okay? In situations like that means you go all the way to the back of the line. We got to get all of the foundational Black Americans whose paperwork is thorough and ready. We're going to have to deal with them. You're not going to hold up the line with some Goya powder on your damn passport, talking about you got a relative that may or may not have been here. No, you're not going to hold up the line with Goya powder, Jollof, and oxtails. All right? Take your ass to the back of the line, and we'll figure out what needs to be done with you once I get all of these foundational Black Americans papered up. That's what we'll do. Yeah. Or take your ass to Spain and holler at Spain. Sounds like that's a situation that you got to deal with as far as Spain. No, but they came over here and they foundational Black American. Are you still claiming Dominican? Was he claiming Dominican at the time? Because if he was claiming Dominican, take your ass over there to holler at Spain. What were you claiming in the 1800s? What were your family claiming? You understand? Again, we're going to have to sit you in the goofy corner. Yeah, I say the 1870 census. I know when they had the reparations task force out here in California, they were saying something to the effect of the 1900 census. I say we go to 1870. I say we go to the 1870 census. I say we go back to make sure people cross the I's and dot the T's and dot the T's and cross the whatever. Dot the I's and cross the T's. Because my family, I can go all the way back to the early 1800s with mine. I can go back to the early 1800s on one side and then to the 1700s on another side. So, yeah, my paperwork is already in order. So we can, and it's not hard to go back and look. It's not hard at all. It's not hard to look into your lineage and see who's who at all. It's not hard at all. But another thing, this is what we got to watch out too for the propaganda. A lot of the left-wing media, they're putting out these type of propaganda stories right here. They're putting out these propaganda stories. Look at this right here. All right. They're trying to talk about, hey, is racism so bad? Look at what these Black Americans are doing. Want to leave the U.S.? These women found a home, a community in Mexico. The expatriation of Black Americans has largely been reported as a response to racism. So instead of doing anything about racism, why don't y'all FBA niggas just leave? No, thank you. And this is USA Today putting this filth out. They always try this. Want to leave the U.S.? These women found a home in Mexico, got a Negro on the plane. Oh, this is propaganda. So yeah, the solution for us to deal with racism is just us leave and let a bunch of tethers come over and take our place. All right? No, there is no big movement of Black people bouncing, all right? They got these two women here who might be studs. I'm not saying they are, but I don't know. All right? You got Black folks moving to Mexico. Man, please. And there's people running across the Rio Grande tonight as we speak, trying to get over here from Mexico. They're not about to sell that garbage to us. No. Yeah, Mexico, that's where Malcolm X's grandson got killed. No, thank you. Man, please. This is propaganda. They're trying to tell you, well, look at black people are living out there in Playa del Carmen. Black people are out there living in Cancun, living their best life. So if you want to get away from racism, Mexico is pretty cheap. No, thank you. Nah, we're good. No, we're going to sit here and replace the system of white supremacy with the system of justice in a nation that we built. This is our home, and we are indigenous to the United States because we are the ones who built the United States. We are not African Americans. We built the United States, making us indigenous to the United States. The Red Mongolian Indians are not indigenous to the United States. Many of them are indigenous to North America, but to the country of the United States, foundational black Americans are indigenous to that because we created the country. We actually built the country. You understand? And we did not immigrate to it. That makes us indigenous to the United States, ladies and gentlemen. Let's be clear. We always have to frame our lineage in that respect. Nobody brought us here to the United States. There was no United States until we built it. Let's be clear. We built the United States. You can't get around that. Where everybody built everybody was involved. No, the hell you were not. Everybody was not involved. You couldn't even build your own homeland. That's why you fled from it. You were not involved in it. Y'all came over here and started eating once the table was already set. You came over eating after the fact. Nobody is comparable to foundational black Americans. Nobody. All right? We have a very unique history in place on this land. This is our spot. You understand? But let's get into some more stuff here. Speaking of people, because we're dealing with racism and we understand what it is. We understand what it is. We understand what the racism is out here, but that doesn't scare us. You're not going to scare us away. We've been dealing with y'all racism for the last 500 years right here on this land. We weren't scared then. We're not scared now. That's not going to scare us. That is not going to scare us, ladies and gentlemen. Now, family, you got some of these other groups out here. Let me show you how deceptive they are. Speaking of immigrants, that suspected racist, Andy Nyong'o, whatever his name is, there was a shooting out there in D.C. And Andy Nyong'o, he's an Asian anti-black racist. He's clicked in with the alt-right and some of these white supremacist groups. Now, he posted a picture of the shooter. The shooter shot about 4 or 5 people out there in D.C. So Andy Nyong'o put this up. He spreads anti-black propaganda all the time. He's like, a photo of the room of the D.C. law enforcement the photo of the room where D.C. law enforcement found the deceased mass shooting suspect and multiple firearms. He has an illustration of Yaqub, a figure in Nation of Islam ideology. The Nation of Islam is a black nationalist Islamic movement and political group. Now, this image right here, this is actually from one of Malachi York's books. This is from, those old books Malachi York used to put out in the 90s, early 90s. This is actually an image from that. And the shooter put this up as kind of a troll type of thing. Now, Andy Nyong'o put this up to make it seem like the shooter was a supporter of the Nation of Islam. But the actual shooter, this is him right here. The shooter is one of Andy Nyong'o's relatives. He's a fellow Asian. His name is Raymond Spencer. He's an Asian dude. This is an Asian dude. I think he's Filipino. This is an Asian dude. This is the shooter, and he was on the white supremacist website 4chan, and what they do, they get pictures from some of those old Malachi York books and kind of troll with them. So he was just trolling, putting the picture up. So if you don't understand the context and you see racist-ass Andy Nyong'o's post, you're like, okay, damn. So this is how dirty and deceptive these people are. They're all about deception, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, so what they do, they use a lot of these images to troll. You know, and how many shootings have been involved with 4chan? 4chan, man, do y'all know how many mass shootings has been in 4chan, has been involved, the people from 4chan? That site cultivates mass shooters. These deceptive, despicable white supremacists and anti-black racists, they sit up here cultivating their hate all day long, and they let that site go on, and these people sit up here orchestrating all types of crimes on that website. Yeah? Yeah, but that dude, yes, Asian dude. That's an Asian cat. But as we know, listen. Yeah, the dude from New Zealand who shot up that place, he was all up on 4chan. That's what they do, man. They let that stuff go on and on. Now, with black folks, if there was a black equivalent site where black folks were sitting up here and there are a bunch of black people shooting up places left and right, and it's being traced back to one site, man, they'd be having roundups all around the country. But as we know there's not equal justice. As black people run around here getting shot in the back of the head by race soldiers, you have white suspects like this guy right here. There's this white man who was trying to run over cops. I forgot what city this was in. I want y'all to look at how the police was interacting with this dude. See, this is what white supremacy sells. Basically, immunity from punishment. Now, this white man was sitting here trying to run over cops. And what the police were doing, they were just running up on this guy, asking aggressive questions. Notice they never even pulled their gun on this dude. And he kept trying to run over cops. Look at how they deal with white people who try to kill them as opposed to black people who try to run from them. They shoot black people in the back of the head because they get incentivized for it. But this is what they do for white people, showing you these people know how to de-escalate a situation without using lethal force, but they're incentivized to use lethal force against us. Hold on.
What are you doing? Pull over! Stop! What are you doing?
I'm trying to neutralize the kid.
Okay, and you think that trying to kill somebody is the way to do that? Give me your driver's license. Give me your driver's license. I'm asking for your driver's license.
Hold on, I just gotta stop. I just want y'all to unpack that for just that part. Hey, you think trying to kill people is the right thing? Instead of, here's a gun in your face, get out the car, put your hands up. You're trying to kill people. Give me your driver's license, mister. Okay. Give me your driver's license. Okay. Hold on. Let me play that again.
Somebody is the way to do that? Give me your... Okay, and you think that trying to kill somebody is the way to do that? Give me your driver's license. Give me your driver's license. I'm asking for your driver's license. I asked. He said he's going to the zoo.
Family, do y'all see they blew a whistle? They haven't pulled their gun out once, family. They haven't pulled their gun out on this dude once. This dude is out here trying to run them over, and they have not pulled their gun out on him, and they pulled out a damn whistle and blew a whistle at him. These people blew a whistle at this man. They became the Keystone Cops.
He's going to the zoo.
Oh my God.
Hey, watch out. Don't let him kill somebody.
Hold on, guys. Hold on. Hey, man, get out of here. Go ahead. Go up.
Here, hold. Stop this guy.
Lord, no guns.
125. We just had somebody about hit us multiple times out here. Start me in the car.
They have not pulled a gun. That's a stun gun. They've not pulled a gun on this dude.
Get down! Get on your stomach! Like the movie, I swear.
They have not pulled a gun on this dude at all. He done tried to run them over on film.
Get on the ground. Do not move.
Now, family, they know how to de-escalate and escalate a situation, as you see. They didn't pull their gun out on this dude. They didn't beat him up. No kicks, no punches, no shot to the back of the head. None of that stuff. Now, remember when this happened in Stockton, California? This just happened this month, right here. Look at it. Stockton police fatally shoots black woman, fires over 30 shots at her car. Now, this is a black woman who they said tried to run over some damn police. Now, this is what her car looks like. This is a black woman who was a mother. These kids have no mother now. This happened last week. This is a black woman's car. There's your black girl magic that the Democrats like promoting. All right? All right, so they shot this woman up. Tracy Gator, 54 years old. Well, actually, this was in February. This is the sister right here. This is somebody's grandmother. She was somebody's grandmother. They shot her car up, killing this sister. They didn't de-escalate it. And you notice, you only show me some white peoples whose car you see like this. This only happens to us. You only see black folks getting executed like this on the streets. This only happens to us. You don't see this happen to white women. The black grandmother, this happened to them. All right? And we're supposed to be voting? No, ladies and gentlemen. This is another reason why we don't vote. Not only do we need tangibles, we got to get protective status. You understand? We got to get protective status out here. We got to get protection out here. This is how real the game is. But family, it's important for us to understand that we are on our own. We don't have no allies, and that's okay. We as foundational Black Americans, we are going to stand on our own too and get tangibles for our group. And we don't have to concern ourselves being offensive to people who we alleviate from the program because they're not qualified to get what we get. When it's time for us to get the tangibles we're supposed to get, all of a sudden we're supposed to be like everybody. We're all the same. We're all one big Negro. And that's not the case. We're different. We have different experiences. And as foundational Black Americans, our experience is unique and we are owed a specific debt, ladies and gentlemen. And we're not trying to play the kumbaya game with anybody. And the Pan-Africanism talk, I'm just not trying to hear it, family. I'm just not trying to hear it. There is no Pan-Africanism. We need to stop selling that. There's no Pan-Africanism. Look, not at this juncture. Maybe later on down the line, ain't no Pan-Africanism, family. Not in no large numbers. Now, we don't have to sell each other Wakanda. We have too much of a great history right here as foundational Black Americans. We don't have to sell Wakanda. Because over in Africa right now, it's too many of them who don't have it together. I just saw this story from the Congo, ladies and gentlemen. I just saw this story here coming from the Congo out there. I want y'all to see this, ladies and gentlemen. This is coming from the Congo. Now, family, you know the Congo. What's the history of the Congo? King Leopold. Out there in the Congo, the Belgians going out there and committing some of the most egregious atrocities to the Congolese people imaginable. This is what the Belgians did. But this month, the Belgians went up in the Congo, and the Congolese government did this. The Congolese government gave Jean-Claude Van Damme, who's Belgian, he becomes a diplomat of the Congo. They made him an ambassador to the Congo. American actor Jean-Claude Van Damme has received a diplomatic passport of the Democratic Republic of Congo. He explained that his task as ambassador would be to support ecology and wildlife and to promote foreign investment particularly in agriculture. Family, they done gave this dude dual citizenship and made him an ambassador. Family, these folks, we have to damn near beg them for dual citizenship. And we have never harmed them over in Africa. We have to beg these people for dual citizenship, and they still don't give it to us unless we go over there with a big bag. They done gave a Belgian not only dual citizenship, but ambassadorship after all the stuff the Belgians did to the Congo. They're still clout chasing Van Dam. Lord, and this is the Pan-Africanism y'all want us to chase, man. I'm cool. It's okay to be cool on the bullshit, guys. It's okay to be cool on that nonsense, man. I'm cool on it, dude. I'm just sorry. If y'all got some mythological, ancestral lust for a Wakanda that you were not a part of, or something from a gazillion years ago, whatever, man, knock yourself out. Look, there were some great things thousands of years ago in Africa. Look, but right now there's too much confusion. It's all over the place, man. And look, we're foundational Black Americans, buddy. I got my own culture here. I'm not going to skip over the greatness of our culture here to give props to some long ago civilization that some of my ancestors were a part of 1,000 years ago. We have a centuries-long relationship with the land here. As foundational Black Americans, we got too much greatness that we created right here. And the thing is with us, this is why they've been so hell-bent on not giving us tangibles, because they understand we as foundational Black Americans, you give us a little, we'll take a lot with it. All you have to do is give us a little bit and we'll flip it. And we'll make it do what it do. Shout out to all the people in here. We're in here heavy tonight. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button if you have not subscribed. All you have to do is give us a little. This is why they have a problem. They understand all we need, a little few resources. The minute we get a little bit, we start changing the culture for real. Just a little opportunity to us, we know what to do with a little opportunity. See, this whole narrative that if you give Black folks reparations, we gonna just trick it off and flip it off or whatever. Nah, some people might, but no, we have too much ingenuity as Black people. Foundational Black Americans, as industrious as we are, as much as we know how to make things happen and put things together and take a little and do a lot with it, man, they understand, they know our power. That's why they got a problem with it. See, they give all these other groups tangibles because these other groups just sit there and fall in line. They ain't going to do too much. They're just going to do the basic necessities. Boy, you give us a little, we make it happen, man. You give us a little bit, we make it happen. Family, many of our movements, like I was talking about last week, when they gave Black people brass instruments after the Civil War down in New Orleans, all of those leftover brass instruments were around. We got those instruments, dusted them off, and created jazz, which is still alive. It's still a multi-billion-dollar industry right now. We created a whole new music genre. You understand? You give us a little bit, we'll take that thing to the next level. Even music genres like the funk music movement that happened, that came out of Black folks getting a little bit. When we look at the history of funk music, family, how did the history of funk music really get popping off, especially in the Midwest? It really got popping off in the Midwest, particularly in Dayton, Ohio. Particularly in Dayton, Ohio is where the funk movement really, really popped off. The funk movement got started really by James Brown, and when James Brown started putting the beats on the one, he started stripping the beats down and he started making all of the instruments percussive. So James Brown lit the fuse. And then on the West Coast, you had another group, Sly and the Family Stone, and they had a great bass player, our good brother Larry Graham, who's from Texas. Larry Graham, he had a bass playing technique. When he had a bass, he had to make up for not having a drum when he played for the church. He would play in a trio with his mother and some other people in the family, and the drummer dipped out. So in order to make up for not having a drum, he had to thump and pluck to make a bass sound, and the pluck was supposed to be the snare, okay? Larry Graham was the first person to play the slap bass, to slap a bass, to slap and pluck, okay? That was our good foundational black American brother, Larry Graham, who's the uncle of Drake, by the way. But Larry Graham, when he did a song called Thank You for Letting Me Be Myself, for Sliding the Family Stone, that's one of the funkiest records made in 1969. That brother killed that bass. Boom, boom, bam, 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 boom, 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 bam, bam. Boom, boom, bam, 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 boom, 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 bam, bam, boom, 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 bam, bam, bam. That was him playing the bass in a percussive manner. That brother took a little bit. He took what was given to him. Hey, I got this. I got a bass guitar. Now I got to make up for not having some of the other instruments. So I'm going to turn this thing into multiple instruments. You understand? But then the funk music genre was really cultivated heavily out there in Dayton, Ohio. Now, why Dayton, Ohio? Because if you look at Dayton, Ohio, you got so many funk bands that came out of Dayton. You had Bootsy. Well, he was Cincinnati, but it was right next to Dayton. And that's where James Brown went and got another backing band. When he fired his original band, he had to go out there to Ohio to get Bootsy and Catfish. There was a reason why he had to go out there to get Bootsy Collins and Catfish Collins and the rest of their group. He had to go out there because of the talent that was out there in Ohio. But you had Heatwave from Dayton, Roger and Zapp is from Dayton, Lakeside is from Dayton, Steve Arrington and Slave, they're from Dayton, the Ohio Players is from Dayton. You got a lot of hardcore funky groups out of Dayton. Lot of funky groups, Master Funk out of Dayton. Now, why Dayton? Dayton is very important because in the right during the Civil War, not Civil War, World War II, there was a lot of jobs going in on factory jobs in Ohio and in Detroit. A lot of black folks were going to Detroit, and a lot of people were going to Dayton. They had a company out there. I forgot the name of the company, but the company was a subsidiary of General Motors. And this company in Dayton, they would make the electronics for the cars. And also they had a contract with the government too because of after the war and everything. So there was what was the name of that company in Dayton? Where are my Dayton people? There's a company out there. Was it Delco? I want to say the name of the company was called Delco. All my Dayton people, if you live in Dayton or if you grew up in Dayton, probably a lot of your family members worked at Delco at one point. I think the company was called Delco, but a lot of black people were moving. Was it Delco? I think it was Delco. They were working at the Delco factory. A lot of black folks were working at Delco. A lot of black folks moved up to Detroit, which a lot of my family members did. That's why I was born in Detroit. A lot of my family members went to Detroit. They went to Ohio. They went to Cleveland, Toledo. That's where a lot of my family is now. Delco, that's the name of it. Okay, Delco, I know. That's what I thought. It was Delco. Is Delco still there? But yeah, Delco was a big factory at that time, and a lot of black people were moving up there to work for Delco. They were making electronic parts for cars and certain other things. So that was a big company, and black folks made a decent living up there. During the 1950s and 60s, black people got jobs and they were making a decent wage. So now you're making a livable wage. So now out here in Dayton, the property value is cheap. So now you can buy homes. And you can buy these homes and you can buy basements. Homes with basements. All right? And also, because you now have you have homes and you have disposable income, you can keep your kids out of the streets by buying them instruments. And then you can get your kids music lessons. All right? This is what was happening in the 60s. A lot of Delco is going right now. Okay, but what they were doing, these families, they got decent jobs, so now you can build a community. So now you got enough little disposable cash to get your kids some musical instruments now. Kids wanted musical instruments, so you can get them musical instruments, you can give them music lessons, and that's what you had all around Dayton, Ohio. You had these kids with musical instruments, and they had basements in order to practice their music. So you had kids going from basement to basement practicing their music. Now, when I was living down in Birmingham, we had a carport, and we converted it into like a basement / man cave for me when I was a kid. And we had our turntables in there. We had our break dancing linoleum. So if you had certain instruments and stuff, you could cultivate other talents. So yeah, people had pianos in the living room. You had guitars. So you had all of these kids with these basement bands. And then they started having battles of the bands. So they were cultivating. Yeah, I said Lakeside. They're from Dayton. So you had all of these groups with instruments. Their families could teach them music lessons and the whole 9 yards all over Ohio, but particularly in Dayton because of that, because of the Delco factory. So you had this movement going because of these black folks who now had access to just a little extra income. That's the point. They just had a little extra income, and they created a whole movement. They created a whole funk movement. Yeah, Detroit too. Detroit too. Similar thing in Detroit. That's why all those groups were popping up in Detroit. All those groups were popping up. Detroit was the centerpiece of black music. You understand? Detroit was the centerpiece of black music. Everybody was going to Detroit to get down with the Motown sound because of all those groups out there. You're Kool and the Gang, they're from Youngstown. Yeah, Ohio, they were funkin', man. All those Ohio bands. Yeah, and Midnight Star, they're from Ohio, right? I think they're from Ohio. You understand? The Fort Monica. So it was real out here. Oh, they renamed Delco Delphi. They renamed it. Okay. Yeah, the Ohio players were not a joke. The Ohio players were not a joke at all. And again, out of Detroit, you know, you had Parliament was going back and forth from Ohio and Detroit. That's where they were cultivating their funk sound. They got that funk sound. Actually, the funk came from Bootsy, to be honest. Remember, Parliament Funkadelic, their early records, they were kind of real out there. The early Parliament records were really, really space-agey and trippy. They were kind of out there. They started getting down on the funk when Bootsy came in. When Bootsy came in and they started getting that mothership connection thing going, and Bootsy started teaching George Clinton about the one, putting the beat on the one, putting the funk on the one. And Bootsy brought that over from James Brown. He brought that to Funkadelic, Parliament Funkadelic. That's when they started getting hella funky. And then, truth be told, Earth, Wind, and Fire became a more polished version of Parliament. You look at Earth, Wind, and Fire, they were a more commercial and polished version of Parliament Funkadelic. Parliament Funkadelic, there was a bunch of dudes, basically a bunch of, you know, spaced out dudes who's on acid, getting high and all of this stuff. Earth, Wind, and Fire, they took a lot of that stuff, a lot of the magic theatrics and all of that stuff that came with it, and then they cleaned it up. They cleaned a lot of it up. And if you notice, a lot of things too, there was a certain black consciousness in the funk music too. That's what made it really fly. There was always a certain level of black consciousness in funk music. We look at the Ohio players. They always had these beautiful black sisters on the album cover showing their bodies, but it was always tasteful. Always had these beautiful sisters on the album cover. Parliament, Funkadelic, a lot of their stuff, if you look at it, but you know, all the mothership stuff, that mothership stuff comes from Elijah Muhammad. Elijah Muhammad was talking about the mothership. And Parliament had a bunch of conscious stuff on their records. A lot of their stuff was seeped in black consciousness. Earth, Wind, and Fire. Remember, Earth, Wind, and Fire had all those pyramids. They would have African pharaohs on their album covers. Look at those old Earth, Wind, and Fire album covers, man. They were always about that consciousness, man. They always had those ancient Kemetic symbols on their albums, man. They always had a consciousness to their stuff. That's what made them funk so hard. That's what made it hit different, man, because you knew they were coming from a real place of consciousness, man. You understand? Yeah, Heat Wave was the business. So yeah, they were always woke. There was a wokeness to that. Yeah, there was a brother named Sun Ra. He was out there, but there was a wokeness. Yeah, the Brothers Johnson too. Yeah, the Brothers Johnson, they were woke too. Yeah, these folks were ahead of the game, man. So yeah, real deep history. And another thing too, what was another thing that's very interesting out there in the 70s, and I'm going to, speaking of the 70s, there's a concert, a Mother's Day concert coming up that I'm going to be out there rocking out, taking my mom to it. Yeah. But hold on one second. And by the way, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. But one thing that I take offense to when people say, well, the black community is so homophobic and all that, all the homophobia in the black community. Man, in the 70s, black people, especially in the 70s, not only was there a certain level of black consciousness, black people were supporting the black or just the LGBT community heavy. You had groups like the Village People, which was promoting LGBT stuff, and black people supported it. We weren't tripping on that. Yeah, the Stephanie Mills concert, yeah, I'm going to that. But in the 70s, man, the disco era, a lot of LGBT stuff going on, black people were supporting that. And also, the black artists were supporting a lot of these gay designers. It was black people putting these gay designers on the map. These folks who were making these spaced out clothes in the 70s, much of that, a lot of that was coming from gay designers. There was a designer named Larry Legaspi. He was a gay Filipino dude. And it was black funk groups, Earth, Wind, and Fire, and Parliament, and Patti LaBelle and the LaBelles. And I'm going to see Patti LaBelle next week. The week after next, by the way. It was a gay black, he wasn't black, but he looked kind of black, but he was a dark-skinned Filipino dude, Larry Legaspi. He was designing those clothes. They were hiring him, putting him on the map with those clothes. That's why if you look at the LaBelles and Parliament, they were kind of dressed alike. They would always have on the same kind of clothes. They would be dressed alike. Parliament, the LaBelles, even the group Kiss, because Larry Legaspi, he would design the clothes for the rock group Kiss. Notice how they would all be dressed alike. It was black people putting these folks on the map, man. It was black artists getting these gay designers, giving them shine. Stephen Burrows, that's another one, a gay designer, yeah. Sylvester Stewart, yeah, black people were putting these folks on the map, man. We've always put these folks on the map. Yeah, black folks were the ones giving them shine. Yeah? It was foundational black American artists giving them a shot, making their fashion designs hot so that other people would want to get down on them. It was always black people giving them shine. The stuff that Patti LaBelle and all of them were doing back then, this is the stuff that Lady Gaga is doing now. Patti LaBelle and the LaBelles, they were doing that back in the 70s, man. All of that Lady Gaga spaced out stuff, they've been doing that. Yeah, black artists been doing that stuff. The Grace Jones, people like that. We got to give props to Grace Jones. She's a fashion icon. They don't give her enough credit. Grace Jones was a major fashion icon and a trendsetter from back in the day. You understand? We've always been very inclusive. Yeah, we've always had this mentality, man. You thorough, we rock with you. You do good work, we rock with you. You put good stuff together, we rock with you. Yeah, so this whole thing of us excluding people based on whatever sexual orientation, whatever, I don't like them putting that lie on us. I don't like them putting that lie on us. We've always put people on, especially people in the LGBT community. Yeah, that look, that's right, that look spilled over into hip hop. Soul Sonic Force, they were dressed like Parliament, you know, they had on all of that stuff. And they had on kind of, you know, a lot of feathers and stuff like that. So yeah, a lot of that stuff seeped into hip hop. Real heavy. The Dayton is a cool city. You know, I've never been to Dayton. I got to go out to Dayton and then chop it up with the family out there. I have not been to Dayton. I've been to Cincinnati, Cleveland, Toledo, a lot of other places, but I have not been to Cincinnati. I got to get out there to Cincinnati with the family and chop it up. Yeah? But yeah, we don't exclude nobody. But yeah, man, well, look, like I said, you give foundational Black Americans a little bit, we take that thing to the next level. You give us a little, and then we'll make a lot out of it. And that's who we are. But anyway, man, let me get up out of here. It's been real, ladies and gentlemen. I think we had a pretty decent conversation tonight. Don't forget to go to officialfba.com to get your foundational Black American maroon shirts and get my book, Foundational Black American Race Beta, ladies and gentlemen. We got our streaming service that's going to be happening pretty soon. The new documentary is going to be a 4-hour miniseries. It's going to be a 4-episode miniseries, ladies and gentlemen. And it's going to be on our new streaming service. I cannot wait for you guys to see the new film about the Maroons. You're going to love it. So I'm going to keep you guys posted on that. And again, like I said, we are the culture as foundational Black Americans. Don't ever let nobody try to make us seem like we're foreigners on our own land. We are the culture. Hit that subscribe button, hit that like button. Now, I'm going to see some of y'all at the Forum on the 8th. They're having a Mother's Day concert. I'm going there. I just found out, I bought tickets to the Mother's Day concert. Then I found out that there's going to be other concerts around the town. I found out later. Some concerts that I would have preferred to go to than this. I know they're going to have the Crush Groove concert. That's going to be Ice Cube, DJ Quick, Sugar Free, Bone Thugs. That's going to be a great concert. They're having that downtown at the Crypto Center. And then out there, I think in Ontario, it's going to be Keith Sweat, Drew Hill. It's a good-ass concert, man. I'm like, damn, I want to go there. But I already got tickets to the Forum to see Patti LaBelle, Gladys Knight, Stephanie Mills, and Freddie Jackson. You dig? And that's a Mother's Day concert, so I'm taking my mother, my daughter, my queen. So I got to go there. So instead of me rocking out, listening to Straight Outta Compton, which is where I really want to go, I'm going to be in the audience singing Love Overboard, along with Gladys Damn Knight. That's where I'm going to be. You dig? You got to make sacrifices out here, ladies and gentlemen. I really want to be at that Keith Sweat concert to hear I Wanna and all of that New Jack stuff, man. I would love to be at that concert. Man, but I'm going to be out there kicking it with Freddie Jackson on y'all ass. You dig? I want to be at the Gangsta concert. I want to be at the Gangsta concert, dude. I want to be out there with Ice Cube, with DJ Quick. I want to hear the gangster stuff. But man, I'm going to be up here at the Forum. Man, I'm going to be up here like this with a headband on and some curl activator. I'm gonna be like this on their ass. I'm gonna be doing the running man. Hot, running cold. Overload. I'm gonna be out there grooving. Sing it, Patty! Now, I'm gonna with some popcorn. Sing it, Patty! And then to learn. Come on, Patty! I'm good with my new attitude. Come on. Dude, come on, Patty! I got a new attitude, Patty! So that's where I'm gonna be, man. I'm gonna be out there with Patty Little Goddamn Bell. That's where I'm gonna be. So if y'all see me, that's what I'm doing. I would have rather gone to the Ice Cube concert, but that's where I'm gonna be, my G. Me and my moms. I know that ain't the most gangster thing, but I'm gonna make it do what it do. All right. So anywho, man, I'm gonna see y'all next week, man. I'll chop it up with y'all in a couple of days, man. Much respect.